Denver's best music, Mix 100. Hello, I'm Katy Mitchell, and I am joined right now by a very special guest, producer, songwriter. He's been responsible for some of your favorite hits. Toby Gad is on the phone with us. Hey, Toby.
Hi, Katy. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, I'm so excited to talk to you because I was looking at some of the rundown of your life, and you've been nominated for a Grammy 10 times. You've won 2 of them. Your songs have combined 19 billion streams to date. That's more Grammys and streams than Benny Blanco, Toby.
It's been the songs, though, that were nominated. And the songs that won the Grammys, not me.
Yeah, well, you're a big part of that, though. So thank you for joining us today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. It's
of course, yes. And so you told me off the air that you're in Los Angeles. Are you doing anything fun today? Are you up to anything fun?
It's just a lot of different things today. I went to Chateau Marmont for breakfast, and then I've rushed over here for a call with Harvard where we're going to do something next week, and then the interview now, and then I have to do mixes because my album's coming out soon. So it's just one thing after another today.
You just got so many things. What did you have for breakfast?
I had Irish oatmeal with berries and warm milk.
Healthy Toby. There you go.
Yes.
Well, first, Toby, we want to know, because you, again, have had your hand in writing some of the biggest hits that at least we play here on Mix 100. I mean, you helped write John Legend's big one, All of Me, Fergie's Big Girls Don't Cry, Beyonce's If I Were a Boy, and so much more. So just give us a little bit of the background on that. What got you into writing and producing music?
If I go way, way back, my brother and me, early on, we would always steal the instruments from my parents. They had a jazz band, and then I was maybe 6 years old. We started performing in my parents' jazz band's intermissions. And then when my parents went back on stage, we went through the audience and said, we're collecting money for us. So that's how I made my first pocket money. And from my first 100 marks at the time, I bought a whole Smurf village. And so I realized from then on, I want to make music so I can buy me things.
Well, once you realized you could make money off it, you're like, this is it, huh?
Yeah. Fast forward, I came to New York in 2000 and came with very little, big hopes, big dreams. I put sign posters on the traffic signs saying, I'm a young producer, do you want to work with me? And that's how I found my first artist in New York. And nobody was waiting for me. It was actually quite a struggle the first 3 years to make my first dollar in America. But I worked very, very, very hard, night and day. And eventually I met this girl, Fergie, and she came into the session in tears, and I was wondering what the problem was. And she said she just broke up with her long-distance boyfriend, whom she loved very much. So I suggested, why don't you write him a breakup letter, a goodbye letter? So she started writing that, and then I read it back 10 minutes later, and it was, the smell of your skin still lingers on me now. You're probably on your flight back to your hometown. Fairy tales don't always have a happy ending, do they? And so I got chills, I got the guitar out, and I thought, this is a song, we have to write this.
That's the beginning of that song. I love it, Toby. That's amazing.
It's straight out of her life. Almost all the words in Big Girls Don't Cry are pretty much Fergie's journal entry at this point. And I contributed the title, Big Girls Don't Cry, and we did the music together and the melodies. But this is such an autobiographical song for Fergie at a time where she just got out of rehab and she had to get her own life together and find clarity and focus, and had to break up with someone she loved. So she was very conflicted at the time, and I think that reflects in the song.
And Toby, that's why I love music so much, is because the backstory you just told me about Fergie's Big Girls Don't Cry just makes me love that song even more. I had no idea it came directly from her journal. That's amazing.
Yeah, all the songs, pretty much all the songs I've been successful with are very autobiographical to the artists, and I'm more like the shrink. I listen to them and I poke in their private lives and see, oh, can we write a song about that?
You get it out of them.
Yeah, I feel those are the most authentic and the songs that really resonate because they're real.
Yes. Oh my God, I love that. We're talking to Toby Gad. He's a huge songwriter and producer, responsible for a lot of your favorite songs. Again, we just heard Fergie's Big Girls Don't Cry. He was a part of, as well as Beyonce's If I Were a Boy, and so many more. And Toby, I really want to know, can you pick one as your favorite one that you helped make?
I really like Untouched with the Veronicas. That's a song that if you go to Australia, it's kind of the national anthem now. They're still filling stadiums, and the whole stadium sings that song, Untouched. I love that song so much. And So just recently, actually, I was a judge on German Idol, which was a fun experience 2 years ago. And the contestants came up and sang my old songs. And I thought they wanted to hear the stories of how the songs were written. And so I started a project called Piano Diaries, where I'm re-recording my old songs with new artists, passing the torch to new talent. And I record them in stripped-down versions, just piano, strings, and vocal, and try to a very minimalist piano sound. And I started with Big Girls Don't Cry with Victoria Justice, my dear old friend from Victorious.
I love her. I love Victoria Justice.
I love her too. Yeah, and so Kelly Clarkson heard it and invited us to her TV show, so we performed it there. And then it made a lot of news, and then from there on, I went song by song, 16 of my biggest hits, re-recorded with 16 different young artists. And the project's called Piano Diaries. And the 8-song prequel came out a few months ago. That's doing well. And soon I'm coming out with a 16-song version of it. It's all on wherever you stream music.
That's so you were talking about how you were working on a new album. Is this the new album?
Yes, it's called Piano Diaries.
Piano Diaries, yes.
And after all these years behind the scenes, I'm now an artist on the project too. So it's Toby Gad, Piano Diaries. And featuring 16 different singers on 16 of my biggest hits. And we've released a lot of them individually already, so about 12 of them are already out, and you can listen to them. And the album's coming out end of March. So that's kind of the compilation of all these songs together then.
I can't wait to get my hands on that. You said 12 of them are already out on streaming services, though. We can find those ones.
Yes. If you just Google my name and Piano Diaries, you'll hear them. And they are very stripped down. I try to create timeless versions of these songs. Minimalist piano. I play as few notes as possible and really feature the vocalist and give them a lot of room to unfold and so the lyrics can shine through of the song. And it's been an amazing experience, this journey that I've been on now for a year and a half. I also did live performances with it, maybe over a dozen live performances in different venues. It's been great. Like, for instance, in London, the Palladium, it's from Andrew Lloyd Webber, a theater, and the Soda Theater. I got 20 minutes to play my songs and tell the stories of the songs. It was incredible experience.
Oh, I bet. And I bet even just like having these songs come back to life has to be such a neat feeling for you.
Yes. I think I have never been trendy with my music. I mean, I worked with Madonna on her album. We did the Rebel Heart album. I think we did 11 songs, 5 weeks, but that's as trendy as it got. That was more like Diplo's influence on the trendiness. My music is usually, it's not trendy, but I hope it to be timeless and to be more like evergreens. That would always be my dream, that I would create a song that doesn't matter when you listen to it. It's always relevant. That was my dream.
Well, again, you are doing that so much with just the songs that I know you wrote. Like John Legend's All of Me, still to this day, one of my favorite songs of all time. So to know that you had a hand in that, Toby, I just want to hug you for it. Like, it's such a good song.
John came into the studio here and he said, "Toby, I'm so in love. I must write a love song today." And then he sat at the piano and he said, "I already have something." And he started, "All of me loves all of you." And then he said, "That's all I have. I don't know what else to do after that." And then I thought of my wife, who I love very much, and her curves and edges. And I said, "Love your curves and all your edges, all your perfect imperfections." And so we traded place at the piano, and the song pretty much wrote itself in an hour or so. That was one of these songs that just happen. They have to come out.
Well, and that is about Chrissy Teigen, right? Didn't he write that about Chrissy?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, he loves Chrissy so much.
Yeah, and then he finally got to perform it at the Grammys, and there was this camera angle where John was in the middle of the audience on a podest at the piano and looking at Chrissy in the audience, and the camera captured both their eyes locking, and it was magic. And I think that's what made the hit.
Yes, I mean, like, it just like is the perfect love song. I mean, you want a guy to feel like that about you as a woman, and vice versa, right?
Yes.
Yes. Well, and when we talk about that, because that is such a beautiful way to look at that song. So what kind of things outside of the artist's obvious personal life, what kind of things do you look for in a hit song?
Well, for the voice, I always want a memorable, recognizable voice that's authentic, where you feel it's not so much about the technique. It's more like, do I believe the singer? Do I believe their words, that they have really lived through the story? kind of authenticity. I think authenticity is very important, that it feels like it's out of the journal of the artist, songs. I love those kind of songs. And I love artists that have something to say. I love to work with artists that feel like, oh, I want to put my life into a song.
Like they can't help but tell you this, right? Like it'll kill them if they can't tell you this story.
Yeah, those are my favorite artists to work with.
Oh, that's wonderful. Toby Gad's who we're talking to here, a very, very successful producer, songwriter. He's done so many things. And a new artist that you're working with now, Angelina Jordan. There's a new song, Bad Valentine, but just a little background on her. She won Norway's Got Talent at 8. She was on America's Got Talent at 12, and she's now 19. Now, I was listening to some of her song, Bad Valentine, and another beautiful voice. She reminds me a little bit of Melanie Martinez, but with like the power of Amy Winehouse. Like, tell us about Angelina.
Yeah, you could say that. So on my Piano Diaries project, when it came to re-recording my Beyonce song, If I Were a Boy, I had to look hard to find the right singer for that. And I thought Angelina could kill this song with her beautiful, saturated Amy Winehouse type voice. And so she sang this on my record. And from there on, we performed it together. And then we thought we need to do Bad Valentine. It's a song I had started with Charlotte Jane a while ago, and I finished it with Angelina. And it's the story of, imagine your worst Valentine experience. Like you have the perfect restaurant, the perfect setup, and it's 7 p.m. and she's a little late, and then maybe 7:05 you think she's parking, 7:10 you wait for a text message, 7:30 no reply, 8 o'clock you know it's not happening anymore. and the song Bad Valentine is her story. So then you see the other side, and it's a rebellious song.
Yeah, it sounds very, very intriguing. Like, even though it's a bad date, I want to know all about it.
I love how she performs the song. She's such an incredible young talent.
Yeah, there's a lot of drama behind her voice. I do like that.
Yes.
Yes. We're talking to Toby Gad here, a professional producer, songwriter. He's done so many things with some of your favorite artists like Fergie, as well as Beyonce and John Legend. But Toby, you are an artist in your own right. Again, we talked about Piano Diaries, which will be coming out at the, did you say the end of March is when it will be out?
Yes, March 28th on my birthday. We're going to perform it in London, in a venue in London. And I love working in London. I've spent a lot of time there, and the artists there are amazing too. So we'll celebrate my birthday and the album release in London.
Well, happy early birthday. That's one heck of a present for you, huh?
Yay.
Yay. Well, I wanted to ask, because I have a question. I call it Katie's karaoke question. And since you are also an artist, when you get up on stage just for fun, you're hanging out with your friends and you guys are doing karaoke, what song do you pick to sing?
Oh, Sigala is a British DJ who invited me to Thailand last year to do a writing camp. And at the end of this writing camp, all of us did karaoke.
Okay.
And of course, I had to sing All of Me. I'm not a good singer.
Yes! I love that that's the one you picked.
I guess they picked it for me.
Yeah. You didn't really have a choice. It's kind of your song,
we
too.
We were drunk enough that nobody heard the difference.
I love that, Toby. Okay, well, Toby Gad, again, producer, songwriter. You can check out Piano Diaries that come out March 28th. Toby, where can people find you and find out more about you and all your wonderful stuff?
Yes, on Instagram, it's Toby Gad Music. So Toby, T-O-B-Y, Gad, G-A-D, Music. And then on YouTube, under my name, Toby Gad, we have a new podcast that's really taking off. It's called Songs You Know. And I'm telling the stories behind the songs you know, the stories you don't know, with artists that have written these songs and writers and producers that have created these songs that we all know. My guests on the podcast so far were, for instance, Josh Groban, or Lauren Christie, who's done all the Avril Lavigne and Dua Lipa things, or Billy Steinberg right now. He did Like a Virgin with Madonna and Eternal Flame. So my podcast guests, they're telling the stories behind the songs, and we have hour-long conversations. And that podcast is really taking off now. It's fun. I didn't expect this to do so well.
Oh, I can imagine it's fascinating, because just hearing about the background on the songs we've talked about today, I'm just enthralled with you. I can't wait to find out more.
Oh, thank you so much. I hope one day I can come to Denver.
Yes, we hope you can too. when you do, you make sure and hit us up, okay? We'll have to go sing karaoke or something.
I would love that. Yes, we need to stay in touch.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Toby. Happy early birthday. And remember, Piano Diaries out March 28th. Have a great day, Toby.
Thank you so much.